We did it. We made it.
We're here.
Yeah.
Success.
Yeah. How you doing, Roy?
I'm doing good. Not bad at all.
Good.
You
Excellent.
good?
No, yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little bit like got a little stuffy nose today, a little itchy congestion, up here.
Okay.
I don't know why that is. Let me turn up my volume a little bit. Get that up
Let's
there.
check some volume in the.
Check. Feels and looks okay by the levels. I still haven't figured out my.
You sound good on the stream.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks for checking that. All right. Let's kind of finish up where we were. We were in the middle of building our message box. We added word wrapping. Word wrapping was added, I think, on Friday. Roy, were you with us on Thursday? I feel like you didn't make it Thursday as well. Is that right or no?
I'm not sure my memory goes back that far now.
That's a fair. When you said that, I was like,
I don't know.
I was like, I think my memory is exactly ends at the same point Rory's does. It does, and it's not on Thursday. My memory of past events is maybe Friday. So I don't know where we are, but I'll tell you where we got to go. We need to. Here, let's do this. Let me bring up Stream Deck.
I think I was present on Thursday, but I don't, for the life of me, remember what happened. Sadly.
Well, I think the last thing I did with you was we refactored the heck out of the word wrapping and removed it from Spellbook.
Oh, that does ring a bell.
And then we put it in its own file called Message Box. And then I think I spent the next day without you getting it to work. And calling from the other location. And I ran into a couple weird problems that took a while to fix, but eventually we got that kind of working. I just hit the music button and I'm not hearing anything happen here. Let's try again. Coder's music. Why is that? That thing drops. And I didn't even hear the sound effects there. Why am I not hearing sound effects? What? I'm muted.
No sound effects.
Hold on. Somehow I got muted. There we go.
That's working.
Just one time. Yeah, I unmuted. Coding Gorilla. Serious code. Nice. Coding Gorilla, thanks for being here. Coding Gorilla joined us for Kids Code over the weekend.
Hey.
As I recall, was helping us out. Appreciate that. We had an okay show. I think there was a moment where I was like, why isn't this working? And I was so focused in trying to fix it. I was not as connected to my son as I wanted to be in that moment. Do you know what I mean? Afterwards, I was like, oh, you know what? I should have disconnected from the problem for a minute to check in with him. But instead, I was just going after the problem. And, I caught the problem and solved it. But it was not in a way that was as teaching, as instructive as I would like.
I can imagine that. It's very difficult to operate on multiple levels at the same time.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, we were about 2 hours and 40 minutes into the show, and my son was starting to be like, dude, he was a little bit like that a little bit. I mean, he's got an amazing ability to stay focused for a long time. I had the same problems trying to teach my sons code when they were young. Yeah. So, but the cool thing about all this is that I realized my mistake and I'm mindful of it now, which means I'm going to be really careful to not, first of all, not push the show longer than probably 2 hours and not push a solution if chasing the solution involves, is going to be hard for him to understand, right? I need to.
It's a lot of plates you got to get spinning in that kind of environment. I don't envy you the trickiness of the situation.
Well, I feel like actually, I mean, here's the thing that's interesting is if I slow down, right? If I take it at an even pace, it's easier to spin all the plates. If I try, in this show, I like to, I'm at my happiest when we're like, make a change, it work? Cool. Make another change. Is it working? Cool. That's what I like in this show. But in the kids show, I really want to take it more slowly. So, Coding Gorilla says, Grats, I don't think I ever connected with mine when it comes to code. Neither of them ever got into it. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? It's like, I've had, this is my 7th kid that I've been parenting, and I think everybody was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that, Dad. And this is the first one that's like, okay, let's check it out. But he's like that with everything, right? If you say,
That's cool.
hey, do you want to learn how to cook, gourmet food? He's like, yeah, I'll figure that out. So he's kind of open to all kinds of things. And
That's a cool person right there. Sure, I'll give it a go.
It is. He really
not?
is. We don't deserve him. We don't. We're not. Karen and I look at each other. We panic every night. We're like, somebody's surely going to come take him and say, there was a mistake in the hospital. He was born at home, but they'll be like, there was a switching at birth, and here's your kid. And the kid we get is like, like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's ours. That makes a lot of sense. Sorry. But anyway, all right. So what do I want to do? I want to test this out. I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to I'll make a copy of this, and I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to change this icon.
So this was the main reason we were doing the word wrapping, is so that we could do this message box to get navigation up and down a series of options, toggling some on in certain cases, or just picking one from the list. And you wanted to be able to take what was potentially a very long question and wrap it appropriately so that you didn't have to stretch the aspect ratio of the box itself and warp the graphics to the point where it looked really bad.
Yes, that's exactly it. And this is why Rory is...
Do you remember something?
So amazing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, I'm going to create a bunch of buttons here. And for each of these, I'm basically creating a bunch of interactive test cases for me. I'm going to call it Ask 1, Ask 2. And for each of these, I'm going to create different scenarios that we want this to be able to, that we want the message box to be able to support. So we might do things like, hold on, let's close down the app.
That to be a 3 in the title there.
What'd you say? Oh, you're right.
The third one.
Thank you. Perfect. So I got 1, 2, and 3 here. And so these will be different scenarios because it takes a long time to otherwise trigger these, right? These are in response to actual D&D rules. So I just want to like get some that shoot right on out there. Design Pattern says, I think it is nice that you are supportive and encouraging. I think that's...
I agree.
It is. Look, this is like... Look, if I was supportive and encouraging all the time, I'd be the best parent in the world, right? But a lot of times I'm like, oh, here's this thing I'm excited about. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not, stopping and listening. So if I was the best parent, I would be stopping and listening all the time, and I would be supportive and encouraging all the time. But I think I'm a not bad parent because I'm like, oh, I know these things are important, and I got to work on them. You know what I mean, Rory?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, get all mad at myself if I fail. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just work better and try harder.
I wish to try harder and improve self, almost no matter what level you already have.
Yeah, and
there's always room for making things better, and that we accept that we're not perfect because very few of the rest of you are.
Yeah. By the way, yesterday I sent over a new spec for the Code Places UI. I've decided it's too noisy and it violates some of the guidelines. And I sent over a new spec, and I actually like the new spec. If we end up implementing it, I think it's going to be just noticeably a little bit better and easier to use. I think people will be like, oh, okay. The fact you sit down and encourage Campbell to code is really cool. My parents still think coding is a fad. Oh no, that's pretty much provably wrong at this point.
Well, on the universal timescale, maybe.
On the universal timescale, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, humans are a fad at that point, obviously.
Do you know that, Rory? I was like, "There's no way anybody's going to present a counter argument to what I just said," until I heard what you said. At which point, I was like, "That is a counter argument. That is absolutely a counter argument." It is like, well, maybe my counter argument to your counter argument is if we create sentient devices that can program themselves, in which case, I just won that sucker. I got that. I won the argument because there's no way.
Heat death, dude.
That will
Universal heat death.
Yeah, that'll go on forever, man. They'll create their own energy. It'll be fine. All right, so I'm in the D&D app. I want to go over into my main window here, and somewhere in here, there it is right there. If command is equal to ask, Then we send out our data. What I want to do is I want to create some. Look at Surly Deb coming in with the pumpkins.
Surly Deb is in the house.
Surly, very good to, ask the cautious question. What did I walk in? Are you trying to program sentience into Mr. Announcer Bot? Mr. Announcer Guy?
I think you find we succeeded months ago there.
Yeah, he's like,
Exactly.
That's right. And however, we're not going to allow you to program yourself, Mr. Announcer Bot.
Fine.
No, I mean that. You're step away from the computer code.
Fine.
Okay. There you go. That's me pressing some buttons, kids. There it is. That's me doing that. And there's Fred out there. Fred's going to say hi. Oh, Fred can't say hi because we shut him down. We shut down his control. What, me programming him? Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Announcer Guy's like, clean up this code. Surly's here. There are a few drone commands I would like to add. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Let me know what those are. I've been playing with the idea of upgrading the drones, playing with that space. We haven't touched the drones in a while. And now that we're on the new machine and we essentially have no limits, right?
Uh-huh.
We can do 500 frames of animation of grass growing on the top of the drones if we wanted to. We can do anything. So, yeah, let's work collaboratively on that, Surly. Let me know what you want. I'm happy to create artwork. Yeah, no limits. Challenge accepted. I'm thinking about upgrading the drones, with weapons, chunk, things like that.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll play around. Be right back, making some more accounts. All right, buddy. You get on that. We're going to do this right now. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to take ask here, just copy it to the clipboard, and we're going to come in here and we'll do. So ask one is going to be here, and ask one's going to be maybe. We'll comment this out here. Simple word wrap. Simple yes no with word wrap. Like that. Okay. And there it is right there. We've done it. I can get rid of this and get rid of this. And this actually may not have word wrap. Okay. So I'm going to, we could change this to, well, no, I like this because it's got acid and force on it. I like that. So that's ask one. All right, ask two. I'm going to say this is maybe not with word wrap. We'll find out. I think it's just a simple yes, no. Now this is going to be simple. This is going to be break concentration. This is something that shows up sometimes. Break concentration with some spell, which we will say, ooh, let's do a bold on this guy. Wouldn't that be awesome? Break concentration with enlarge, reduce to, and then we want to say something like 9.2 minutes remaining. So here we go. To cast spider climb. So that's very close to a real message that we've seen that comes out here. And that's going to be a yes or no. Like that. And this right here is the minimum number of answers and the max number of answers. Those are those two parameters right there. So that's another simple yes, no with word wrap. That's going to be ask two. And then ask three is going to be select chaos bolt damage, something like that. Select chaos bolt damage. That and oh wait, sorry, that's not the one I want. I want to be select target for what is that spell called that Miles has? Enhance ability. Or select ability. No, let's do this. Select ability to enhance.
Yes. Is that the animalistic quality one?
It is. And so these include bear's endurance, bull's strength. I have a feeling that music is a little loud. I'm going to turn it down just a bit there. Bull's strength and cat's grace. And eagle's splendor. I don't know about that. I'm not really associate splendor with eagles, but you know, fox's cunning and owl's wisdom. And again, one min choice and one max choice with that. Okay. Then I'm going to create an ask for. So this is with word wrap. This right here is a simple multiple choice. And we're also looking to see how everything looks on it, right? Do we, with all of these different varieties, is everything, do the margins look right? Is the fitting good? That sort of thing. That's what we're looking for.
We're essentially setting up replayable scenarios so that we can act as kind of unit testers of sorts. We can look at it and go, is it still look good? Yeah. Make some changes. Do all three of them still look good? Yeah.
Select target for shield spell, like that. Select target for shield spell. Something like that. And then we'll just say Fred, Miles, Lady. I'm really loving, you know what, actually though, let's report this as an issue. There's a minor change I want to this. Okay. All right, kids. So I'm on a line and I'm scrolled over here and I'm on a line that's got several of these fields in it, but they're off screen. Okay. So I'm just going to type in what I want here in this one, and then I'm going to hit enter and watch what happens. It selects the next one, make sure the caret is on screen, but what it should really be doing is make sure the entire field is on screen. That's what I want. In other words, the scroll point should be to there. Does that make sense? Right to there when I get there. Okay? So that's what I want to have happen. Let me report that issue. And we'll say this is this last one here. It's going to be that. And here, let me report the issue, and then I'll continue coding here. I don't need log files for this. I think, but basically, activating off far right, maybe, well, maybe not far right. That's got extra meaning right now. Activating fields to the right of the right margin should bring entire contents of field into view.
Yeah.
By scrolling horizontal margin. This is long, but horizontal.
Well, sometimes words are validly used.
Scrolling horizontally. Like that. That's my issue. All right, let me put that in. Yeah. We're Dog Food and Code Rush, as you probably know already, kids.
Yep.
And this is, so now we've got a multiple choice, maybe or maybe not with word wrap. So we're just going to do that. And now we'll say the max number of choices is, I don't know, 3. What just happened? Why did I jump over here? Interesting. I'm not sure what exactly that was. Sometimes words have valid meanings. Sure. So we'll allow 3 choices there. By the way, for this, I want to actually make it clear that there are 3 choices, and somewhere on there, I want to have a 1 of 3 selected. I want feedback somewhere that that's the deal. So that's my ask for. Let's run it. Now, there's nothing yet that's validating what's coming back. And I don't really think we necessarily need it right now. I just want to see layout. I want to see how it looks, how it interacts, and we have to add some logic. Let's go add that other button over here for ask for. There's 4 right there. All right, so let's hit the, do I need to refresh these? I might need to refresh. Let's see what happens if I click over on one of these. Nope, we're good. I don't think I need to refresh. All right, so let's hit button number 1 on the top. Okay, so I've got select chaos bolt damage. I can go up and down. So I'm hitting just these up and down buttons right over here. These 2 here, 1 and 2. If I hit this button, though, I think it's going to drop something. Yeah, that's not what I want. When I'm in this scenario, I want the...
Yes, this is choose one from scenario.
So what's kind of happening here, what we're doing a little bit, which is a little bit slightly inconsistent, is we're going to use the same UI to indicate the focus and the selection when we're in this scenario here, when it's only choose one. Okay? If we're in a multi-select, then we're going to use this secondary UI piece that we haven't written the restrictive code on this yet. So, okay, let's click OK on that. All right, next one, ask to. Look at that, we got bold, Rory. This is
we do.
All I did was port it. I didn't even test this. I thought this was not going to work. But that is awesome.
It's working. Ship it.
Yeah, it's not bad. The margins on the sides are long. However, look at the corner where that paren is there. When the animation comes in right about there, we can't really get the margin any more in because of the aspect ratio stretching that we're doing. Now, what we could do to prevent that is we could say, let's wrap it onto even more lines, which I think I want to do. I want to take my minimum width and I want to shrink it, or my maximum width rather, and shrink it down. That's what I want to do.
Because it would absolve us of some of that stretching, which is going on the edges there. And we've got space. I mean, even if we keep it to 2 lines, you could maybe take, I don't know, down to where minutes starts and take that text, wrapping it, and you'd still be on 2 lines, but you'd occupy far less width. And it would be less effort to read as well at that point.
You're absolutely right. And I'm just wondering, if we get 2 lines, I like the extra wrapping idea, says Design Patterns. It's just occurring to me, Roy, if we get 2 lines, and they are only 2, and they are radically different in size, then that means that we should try again flat out with a shorter distance. In other words, this min could be okay for something really, really long, I suppose. Or should I just simplify and just drop it? Let's look at the code and see where we go with this. Design Patterns, welcome out here. Yeah, here. This is what I'm talking. Well, hold on. Let me drop the UI. This is what I'm talking about over here. This is noisy right here. All of these horizontal lines, we're getting rid of these. We're redesigning this, and this is going to be a lot easier to read. There's going to be and way lower contrast here. That was definitely something we don't want to have in there. Anyway, yeah, the new look is going to be easier to read. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be nice. So yeah, I sent that up last night. Okay. We are in message box, and somewhere in here I've got a bunch of constants. Here they are right here. And available title width, 670. Too much horizontal scroll there. Yeah. So let's kind of look at this, where this is used. Max title width is here. So we scaled up, right? We say, okay, here's what this is. Title paragraph is get word wrap lines for paragraph. So here's what we could actually make the check here, where we could say, hey, look, if it's 2, if it's 3, I'm like, you know what, I'll take the whole thing. But if it's 2, and if the distance between the two are, so let's try that. If title paragraph dot line data dot length equals 2, then I'm going to come down here and check to see, well, what's the line data of this one compared to the other one? This one's got a width property, and the other one's got a width property. So I want to say, well,
you presume the first one is the largest, so yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to, I'll come in and I'll be like, delta width is equal to 1 minus the other. Like that, where the 1 is that one. Wait, is 0 minus 1.
0 minus 1, yeah.
Yeah, like that. That's the delta width. Then we want to say, hey, if delta width is greater than whatever our threshold is, and there's something else we got to watch out for. It just occurred to me. If we drop it, we may get 3 lines instead of 2.
True, if we drop it too much.
But you know what? I'm going to say we can afford 3 lines no matter what. I don't care. That's what I'm going to flat out say. So
okay.
What I want to do is I want to get these 2 closer together. I think what I want to do is I want to say, let's figure out a threshold. I'm trying to show some code right now. This is, it's a show, gosh darn it. Pudding took a show. It's the pudding show.
Show theft.
No, it's back to me again. All right, fine, I'll take it.
Borrowing a show.
You just borrowed our show for a little bit. How you doing, Pudding? Yeah, Pudding is like, you're broadcasting every day, it seems like. Almost every day of the week. Yeah, Karen and I are doing that. I just realized we've got some stream, I've got some stream every day of the week except for Monday. Do you know that? I'm doing the show
Monday's
with Campbell on
rest.
Saturday. I do the show with Karen on Sunday. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How are you guys doing today? Roy said he was doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Max width. Max delta width, I think is what I want to call this. And Roy, let me know if those desktop sounds are too loud in your ears. I can.
No, it's actually pretty good.
Turn them down.
No problem there.
Max delta width. What should we say that is?
Well, what's your maximum? I mean, your width of the screen is what, 1080, or have I got that the wrong way around?
1920.
1920.
But it's not. That's not what we're basing this on. We're going to be basing this on that 670 that we had up there that we saw. Let's go find that 670. Isn't it funny? I remember numbers so much more easily than I remember like available title width. I would be struggling to find that, I think. But it's 670. I know where that is.
Interesting.
I know I've only got one 670 in the code. Yeah, that is, I think, a little bizarre, but that's kind of the way I work. So I've got this available title width. I kind of feel like if we're looking at a quarter of this times whatever scale we're at, if it's then we can cut it down.
Okay.
Maybe a third. Let's say it's a third. So we're going to say it's equal to this divided by 3. And this needs to be a message box divided by 3 times the scale that we're at. And I think we know our horizontal scale at this point in time. Do we know it? Nope, we calculate it later.
Horizontal scale is there.
Yeah, we calculate horizontal scale based on title. So we do not have that here. So let's do it maybe as a percentage of the available width then instead.
Okay.
Let's figure out those percentages instead. Max title width is there. All right, I guess I can work with that. So it's equal to delta width equals this minus that. Whoops. Divided by that, I think. And that now gives me my percentage. Right? Is that right? So it's this minus that. Or no, it's not. It's going to be divided by... Wait, hold on. Let's just do a percentage flat out like this. Let's say it's the shorter one divided by the longer one. Right? So we're going to say our percentage. I think that's easier to work with anyway. Percentage width. So this is of the second line. Second line, percentage width of first line. I don't know. That's kind of, it's the percentage width of the second line. So it's the second line's percentage width. Yeah, I cannot come up with a good variable name for this. But if this is less than 50%.
Okay.
So if it's less than 0.5, if that's the case, I don't think I need this anymore. Then I want to come in here again. And if it's less than half, then I basically want to say, all right, let's multiply, let's do everything again, but we're going to take this and multiply it by 0.75.
Yeah.
75. So it's going to go 3/4 of its width. So that's kind of, it's kind of very, very specific. But if we have two lines that kind of fall into that, we're going to shorten it and so that we have a more even distribution. That's kind of the goal.
Yep.
All right, let's refresh that and see how that works. All right, there's a refresh and the data is here. Let's hit the button. I think it was button 2 we were working on.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so that worked.
Yeah.
And it's better. It's better. Okay. So next let's work on this problem where I can actually hit this button. This button should do nothing when I'm in this mode.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All right, good. Okay, so let's work on that. The that's down here in message box. And I could tab next reference on the focus indicator. This feels like it's right. There it is right there. Add selection indicator sprite. So add selection indicator sprite called from up here. That's if we have toggle answer. So I have basically checks at the beginning that say, you know, get out of here fast. But I want to say, or I want to add one more. It says, or this dot, what is it? Question answer map dot max answers equals 1. If max answers is 1, there's no toggle. Okay,
Yep.
That's a simple fix, I think. All right, let's refresh that. Let's go back over to my Stream Deck. I want to get a button on here, my refresh button. You've seen me do this before, but I have a button here that
Yes.
sends a command that tells the UI to refresh itself. I just want to paste it here temporarily so I can just hit it real quickly. That reloads and sends the data back down to the overlays. So let's hit number 2 again. And now I'm going to hit that middle button and nothing is happening when I'm hitting
Cool.
the middle button, this one right here. So, whoops, sorry, it's blocked in the back. So that was fast.
I was meaning to ask, Mark, is there anything you can do with the Stream Deck commands, so that which you put underneath a button, which effectively can instruct the Stream Deck? Because I was wondering about the OK button you've got there. You effectively go into this this particular depth of commands, and you're navigating up, down, and what have you. And then when you hit OK, you're almost always going to go back up a level.
Yeah.
So I was wondering whether the OK button could be made to also, in addition to what it was doing, trigger you to go back up a level.
I think it's possible, but I think it's going to require a plug-in.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's going to be a little tricky. A Stream Deck
dependencies maybe not so good.
A Stream Deck plugin, and I could get it to work on my machine, but it probably wouldn't work on a remote machine unless you were running like a separate program. I'd have to write a separate program as well to get it. So
that's a lot of investment at that point for maybe not quite a lot of usefulness.
Let's wait till that's the obvious thing to do. Okay, next, if it's a multiple choice answer, so here we go to the button 3 I'm hitting now. Okay, and let's see what's going on there. So yeah, this is actually kind of good. I like the positioning is not bad because it's above our heads, right? It still found a way to fit it, right? It was lower before when it had room. I'm hitting that middle button, nothing's happening, so I've still just got that one selector. It's, if anything, I would argue it needs a little more margin at the top and a little more margin at the bottom.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm pretty good with it. Although I am realizing, though, I need to have sound effects with this thing. Sound effects serve two purposes. The most important purpose is they provide feedback to the Dungeon Master immediately that the animation has started. Where the visual part of it might be a little slower to reach the Dungeon Master, remembering that the use case for this, paper crinkling sound. Yeah, something like that. Well, I also want, when we move this, there to be a sound effect as well. So I want to hear that sound effect, even though the motion on this, and maybe let's work on the sound effects on this page here, because this is a page where it's really going to make a difference, I think. Surly says maybe a paper crinkling sound, maybe a light breeze, and a scrapey sliding noise. All right, I like your thoughts.
I imagine the noise like a portcullis makes as it contacts.
Yeah. Cody Gorilla says, whoa. Creature, what are you doing, man? I'm trying to do a coding show here. Oh, it's Great Rat. It just takes over the whole show. How about screeching tires and rock and roll? Yeah, we could do that. The card swipe sound, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe he's actually serious. I thought he was joking.
That's not too bad.
But like as I do it in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll show you what I got. I actually got some sounds that are a little bit close. They're in here. I've got something called Airy Whoosh. I've got this other one that I downloaded as well, Arctic Breeze. Let me open that up. Let's go back over here. Let's extract that here. And I just downloaded this. Let's delete that one. And let's delete also this one. I don't need that WAV file anymore. And let's open this up in Audition. And we'll listen to it. I definitely don't need this at all.
The first bit's quite good.
But it's not bad. Let's fade that out. I want to get it in. I want the sound coming in sooner. So I'm going to cut it to there, but then I'm just going to fade that in right there. So I'm going to say fade in here. Let's listen to it. It's a little loud, I think. Better. These things have got to be kind of subtle. So when this comes up, that's an option for it as well. So I'm going to save this one. Fine, I'll call it Arctic Breeze. Or maybe I'll call it Airy Whoosh too. Maybe we'll have two different kinds of this. Airy Whoosh 2. And we're going to make this an MP3 because our engine only plays MP3s. And let's close that. Close this. And now let's give this a 1 on it. So now we can randomly play one of these two. I've got a scroll appear alert sound. I don't even remember what this sounds like. I think I created this out of a couple sounds and I merged them together. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that kind of bubbly pop sound at the beginning as well. So that I've got that. I've got the scroll unfurl. Just a little bit there for when it comes up. And then I've got the stamp sound. This is what I was imagining as when I moved it up or down. Something like that. I got a bunch of different ones of those, like 7 of them. And they're all different varieties of, they're essentially a stamping kind of sound. That's what I've got. Let's hook these up. And if we want to switch to the credit card swiping sound, let's actually listen to that a second. Let's go find that. See if we can get that sound effect. Credit card swiping.
Hey, Mark.
What you got? Sent you a scrapey sound on email. Oh, okay. That doesn't sound good at all. Let me go get my email on another machine because I'm just not confident it's going to stay on the right monitor. Scrapey sound. There it is right there. And go throw it in my sound effects folder. Save that there. I turned off Dropbox over on this machine. I do it every time before I let me resume syncing here a second.
I was going to ask, Mark, what do you use to multi-machine? Do you physically shift to different keyboard and mouse, or do you have some kind of KVM?
I think it's called mouse without borders or something like that.
Okay, yeah. Does that have any kind of copy-paste facility for copying stuff from machine? Because I know some
yes,
of them
it does. It absolutely does. Yeah. Did I get it? It looks like it's arrived, I think. Where is it? Open with, where's a View and File Explorer? There's the one. All right, cool. Let me pause Dropbox again. Yeah, so it's like Mouse Without Borders is what I think it's called. It's a Microsoft product, and it works incredibly well. It's like I just slide the mouse over to the edge of the monitor, and it's all of a sudden on the other machine. So
I do like that effect.
Yeah, no,
for anybody
really
else
nice.
who's out there, this is the sort of software if you have any 2 machines, if you bring your laptop to work perhaps, or you've got reason to have the 2 beside each other, you effectively can use the second machine as just an additional monitor almost.
Yeah.
Except that, of course, when one of them isn't working maybe so great, the second isn't slowing down. It's just continues working.
It's really good, right? If you've got one machine totally just taking up all your resources, you just move to the other one and you're like, oh, I'm working here now, right? All right, one more time. Let's see if we can hear this. I'm not hearing this at all. Let's close this down. Let's see if we can open this in Audition.
Sure, Surly's just not trolling you with an empty sound file.
I don't know. I was thinking, what should I do this or not? And I'm like,
he could have put anything in
what's
there.
my risk? Here we go. Did you just
I see the file, but I don't hear any noise.
Yeah, he says then screaming at the end. There is actually noise here. Here, let me bring this up here, and I feel like you just recorded this right now, Surly. It's a Rickroll. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was thinking, yeah, we're gonna get. It's like we're at high risk. I'm not sure I'm going to use this yet. I'm going to hold that down there. We'll see what happened. He did record it? He did. Using my iPhone and a coaster. Okay. Now I feel like I want to use it because it's like, all right, let's use it. We'll go ahead and use it. Let me do, let's listen to this again. There's a little bit of a hard sound right here that I'm not so sure about. Let me drop it down again. Let me take this. Let me undo that a second. That's definitely too low. It's not bad. All right, let's do it. We'll use that. And let me do one more thing. I want to do get a noise print of this and reduce the noise. This one seems harsh. Right there. Yeah, that one's harsh. I want to get rid of that one. All right. Yeah, these are harsh over here too. Hold on.
I feel like the second one on the screen isn't bad.
Yeah, the second one is really good. This one is good. This one's not bad. This one's really good. I just feel like that's too much there. Oh wait, you know what I could do? Hold on. I could actually fix these because I do like variety in these. I could fix this by just simply rocking down that, dropping that down. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Do the same over here. Like that. Even more. Yeah, there we go. Now it sounds like it's sliding. Awesome. All right, good. Now I'm where I want to be. This one was just a little harsh. Wait, what? That one's a little harsh too. Good. That one's a little harsh. But now I'm going to take the volume and bring it up just a little bit for everything. Good. Okay, cool. All right, now let's come out and we're going to do these one at a time, save them out. This is going to be slidey one. Ooh, am I going to have a problem there? No, I don't think I will. Okay. I was just thinking, do I need to fade out at the end? But I think it's low enough volume that we're okay. I want to get this just before it starts making noise because as soon as we play it, we want to hear it. So we want to reduce any latency between the time we say play and the time we hear the sound. That's slidey 2. Same thing here. Slidey 3. Here comes slidey 4. Okay, and then finally end up with slidey 5. Right, that's it right there. Okay, cool. Slidey 5. Good. And that's all going into the in-game UI folder. Okay, now let's play those sounds so we can hear them. We need to search for the word ease. There it is right there. And this is where we're update focus indicator. Yeah, we're just moving it up or down. So we need to play it right here. So at this point, we need a sound manager, which means we need a sound manager here. We still don't have one. That means in execute command, we need a sound manager. Dragon back game. This dot dragon back sounds. That's our sound manager right there. Okay, so then back down in here, we're going to pass that in. Sound manager. Okay, and then we're going to pass that into these two. Or should I just create something different? Play, slide sound. I think I want to do that instead. Wait, what's the link? What are we doing right here? Using my iPhone and a coaster. Wait. I don't understand they aliased it to MM.
So this is Mouse Without Borders. It's got an MM for launching it. Which is, as he says, less memorable, but much quicker to actually get going.
I start that thing up every time. Hey, Spoopy, your train is almost here, buddy. The Legos already arrived. I can almost reach up and touch it before I disappear into the ether. Oh, let me get him. I'm like King Kong. Arr, arr. Smoothie's in the house. All right, let's do this. Play sliding sound. Like that. And we're going to get a sound manager in there. It's probably just one line of code, but I kind of like having its own method in here. So we'll say sound manager dot play. I think I've got a safe play MP3 that I like to use, and the file name is going to be, I believe, in game UI / slidey, and there are 5 of them. I think that's it. Yeah.
Something strange going on there, Mark.
5. What's going on? What's the problem?
Surly's evidently dropping seeds, but I saw no seeds despite definitely seeing flowers afterwards.
He may have, does he have the code rushed thing low and flying low, or do we know where that is? There it is right there. I think he's...
I see. So he's not actually dropping them from a height. Fair enough.
Logo's on the floor. Yeah, he's Smoopy knows. Look at that.
Stealth seeding.
Surly and Smoopy are both on top of it. They know how this thing works. All right. So let's try that and see if how that works. So we're going to say drag and back overlay, refresh that, refresh the data, bring up a choice. All right. Okay, Surly, you got to slow down here if you want to hear your sound effects. There you go, man. The only thing that doesn't work, though, because of where we chose to put it, look at this. If I hit up arrow here, we still hear the sounds. So we need to actually put it down inside. So it was a nice idea while it lasted for a second to try to have, separate responsibilities. Well, oh wait, we can still do this. Here, we'll do this. It's still going to be good. There. Let's go get down into here and here. And then we're going to make that other call, that one right there, from both of these 2 places. That should fix it. What's my problem here? What is going on? Why are we getting a weird play sliding sound? He's expecting... Oh, that's weird because I took it out of here, I guess. All right. Like that. All right, let's try that. Sorry, guys, I just realized I did all that blocking the code. Let me try again here. Refresh.
Bits of it were visible. It's fair enough.
And bring it up. And now hitting up arrow. Nothing happening, no sound. I'm hitting down arrow. There it is right there. All right, so not bad. Let's get the rest of the sound effects in here for having an unfurl coming up. So we kind of get a greater sense of completion. I actually realizing I need a toggle sound. Maybe I could use my stamp sounds for that, for when we toggle something on or off. I could do that. Okay, so we need the show right here needs a sound manager. All right, and if we're going to show, we need to play some sounds in here. We need to do in-game UI / scroll and furl. Do we have a delay? There's a compare threshold. There is I think I've got a play MP3 in. It allows me to specify how much time. And I just want to get the timing right on these. I'm not sure what they are. I'm just going to give them 0 for now. Looks like I need to swap the order of these parameters. Like that. All right, there's 1. And then I've got my airy whoosh. And I've got 2 of those that we can randomly choose from. So right there, they're both going to be played immediately. And we got the scroll appear alert as well. So let's duplicate this and do that. So I think the unfurl at least has got to come in about 300 milliseconds afterwards. I think that's going to maybe be better, but I'm not 100% certain about that. I don't recall if I may have already added in that, built that in. So actually maybe not. Let's leave it at 0. Let's just do that and see what happens. Here's a refresh. And here it comes. Okay.
Interesting.
I bought it. I bought it. I feel like, and not to be, critical, Surly Dev, but I feel like I need something a little more here. I like what we've got, but I need something just a bit more magical sounding, I think. So I want to add something to your sound effects, but I'm not sure what they are yet. We have nothing when we click OK, but I do really like that sound effect, though, when it comes up. Uh-oh. Oh, this is a problem that occurs if we've gotten rid of it and we try to bring it back up. It's a state bug within 8 seconds. So in real gameplay, the chances of getting 2 of these questions back to back is low. We need to fix that. But if I bring it up now, I think it should work. I just had to, I'm basically stalling for time now. Let's see if I bring it up now. Yeah. Yeah. So that's not bad. It's so funny, that sound effect. Hold on. Let's get all these up. Let's get these slideys up here. I want to try playing them with something there. Let me close this down so you can see what I'm looking at. These are semitones. I want to do kind of, oh no, wait, this is what I want. Yeah, I like it really low. Yeah. Let's apply that. Let's make it a little louder. Maybe not. All right, we'll save that. There's slide E4. Can I repeat an effect? Amplify, that's not the one I want to repeat. I want to let's go back into pitch shifting again. All the way down, dropping it down. Apply. Save. Close. Select all. Control R is repeat last effect. Okay. Save, close. Control R. Apply. Save, close. Control R. Apply. Save, close. All right. So we have that. I kind of, like I say, I want something a little bit more. I want to see if I can find a magic ding. I don't know. I don't want it to be like an super obvious thing along those lines. Yeah, too much. Way too much.
That's better than the others.
You know what I want this for? I want
kind of a lock-in thing.
I want that for toggling. And I almost feel like I want kind of a toggle in and toggle out. But I'm gonna name this toggle.
Like the USB sound when you connect and disconnect, being subtly different.
Right.
Audio jungle. 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 Audio jungle.
Just say restarting now. All right, kids, restarting here. We're back in. I lost the internet. I don't understand that. I wonder if somebody unplugged one of my my battery backups.
Someone needed a socket for something. They just, oops, maybe not that one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it was a brownout, but we lost internet as well, which is unusual because they usually never go down at the same time. I'm not sure what to search for this for.
Audio jungle. Audio jungle. Audio jungle. Audio jungle.
That could be a turning it off sound, maybe.
Audio jungle. Audio
What if I search for magic on off? I wonder if I would get something.
I was going to say, I'm thinking of picking or unpicking, or maybe is there a sound that if played in reverse would inherently
Oh yeah. So I like this.
Sound like untoggling.
I'm a fan of that.
That's nice.
Audio jungle. Audio jungle. Audio jungle.
So the popping sounds are good.
Audio jungle.
The second and fifth piece on that.
I already left.
Audio jungle.
Sound effects are way too serious here.
Audio jungle.
This is that one right here.
Audio jungle.
So these two I like.
Audio jungle.
Yeah, there's a certain symmetry to that.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. Let's do it right now. That's going to be our on-off toggle. I love it. Rory, you're a genius. I'm not sure, excuse me, which one of these it is, but we'll find out. I think that was one of them. That was 3, 4. What's this? Nope, not that. You can say goodbye to you and say goodbye to you as well. I'm not sure what you think that is. All right, so yeah, this is the selector. It's also good because it's louder. And so we're going to do that. Let me take it right to about there. And I'm even going to make it even louder. I'm going to normalize this all the way up to almost the full scale. Good. All right. So now we're going to say, we're going to call this toggle on, toggle selected. Save that and close that down. And then this one is going to be toggle unselected, I guess. Toggle unselected. All right, now we have both of those. Let's go add those to our toggling code here. So we want to go look for, it's called the focus indicator. Actually, it might be better to look for toggle answer. There we go. So toggle answer is going to need a sound manager. So I'll drop a marker there. I'll come up here, copy from, I guess all the way to there. Clean up the paste. Oh, I didn't need the comma, did I? There's my sound manager, and now we're going to say remove selection indicator for sprite. So now we're going to say sound manager dot safe play mp3, and it's going to be in-game UI / what did I call it? Toggle selection? Toggle selected.
Selected.
Let's copy that. There's that. And then down over here. Did I do this right? Removes. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one goes here. And this one is going to be toggle, I think we said unselected, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Good. Let's kill that. I like to keep these things clean. And we don't need these anymore. Okay. And we don't need slidey anymore. Okay. I think that's good. Let's refresh. All right. This one we can't test it on. We have to test it on number 4. Here's 4. Oh, this is that bug.
This is that bug, yep.
I gotta wait like 8 seconds. That bug would be a good bit of bug to fix. I didn't wait 8 seconds. I gotta wait 8 seconds again. I gotta wait for that.
8 seconds
to play out.
feels like an eternity.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about different ways to fix this bug. One way is wait for as soon as the fade out is complete, then we go delete it aggressively. All right, there we go. Select target for shield spell. So better. It's not bad.
It's definitely very. It's much more tangible with the sounds.
Yeah, you know what I want to do though, to help visualize this better. Yeah, this is actually really good. I like the pop with the instant appearance of it. That part's cool. I want to make, when we're in this mode, I want this thing to be smaller. The scale of this guy to be smaller. That's what I want. I'm not entirely convinced that these burning circles are the best indicator for selection, though. They're kind of atypical. You know, normally you'd have like a checkbox there or something like that, an X. So they're slightly different from regular UI. I don't know. What do you think about that, Rory?
It's tricky. That there's a certain, I don't know. I like the idea of the burning, because burning paper, magical paper, that works. Even the frosty version on front. I wonder if they're a little large, and I wonder if red background, because it depends what you're going for. If you're actually going for the appearance of burning, then you'd see things blackening rather than reddening, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm with you 100% on all of those things. Yeah, my thoughts are that this thing gets much smaller. This piece right here, the focus indicator, red usually tells me something is wrong. Yeah, got that as well. Yeah, let's play with this UI a little bit and see if we can get this to be better. Let's start with making that thing, the selector, smaller, the focus indicator. We've got a slight challenge in that the focus indicator is used to, where are you, focus indicator? I should probably just copy what, instead of searching, bring this up. There it is, right there. Okay, here you go. The scale is determined as 0.7 times this, okay, for the focus indicator, but I'm pretty sure the focus indicator scale is used here to determine this guy's indicator. So what I need to do, if I'm going to change this and have a varied scale, I need to have something that says, like a line of code that looks like this. The scale is equal to that. And then we're going to say this scale down here is going to be equal to that. But then we also want to check to see, here, hold on a second. Let me come in and do this. Like that. Should default it to 1. And hold on. I'm slightly distracted by this ESLint thing, and let's see if I can remember where I was going to go next. Oh, I know. I want to use this down below, right there. I want to use that instead here. So now we've got that straight on scale that's used there, and that should solve the scaling problem, the outer piece. The outer piece should still be whatever that size is going to be relative to the size, because what's happening here, actually, this should be, maybe instead of calling this the focus indicator scale, we could call this the answer indicator scale, maybe.
Yeah.
It's basically kind of gives you a sense of what that overall height is going to be that you can play with. We can drop this down anyway. That answers one of the criticisms about maybe them being too big. So we can do that. Then we can also do something like this. We can say, hey, if this dot question and answer map dot max answers is greater than 1, then we're going to make this thing smaller. We're going to say, well, we'll make it about 80% smaller. And then otherwise, where's my else statement? There it is. We're going to set it equal to just that scale. So let's refresh that and see how that looks. All right, so for normal stuff, still, it's a little bit smaller. We made it a little bit smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good. That looks okay to me.
It's no bad thing. Yeah, that works.
Closing, waiting. Yeah, this is my next bug to fix, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then bring it up. Is it enough time? There we go. Oops, this is not the wrong one though. Got to close that too. And here comes the right one now. Oh, didn't wait long enough.
I counted 4.
You only counted 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, we're guessing at the 8 seconds. I'm not entirely sure where that specifically comes from. But see, the idea is that I distract you for long enough, and then we reach the end of the sentence, and then it's probably safe.
Yeah. You know what? I like Surly Dev's suggestion about a target. I'm liking that better. I really am. I think that's a better idea. Because a target is actually something that I think you could say probably existed back in D&D times.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, it's kind of working. We change it to a target, and I think we'll be good.
So you're going to change the red indicator to a target?
Yes, and maybe I will also change the opacity of this guy so that you could see the target through it a little bit. I'm playing with that idea. When we're in multiple choice, this guy becomes a little semi-transparent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking that too, like 50% maybe. Let's try that. Let's just play with that space alone right there. That means we need to do something a little bit more right here. We're going to say the focus indicator dot opacity override, I think is what we've got here. Opacity, I guess I can, no, isn't it an override? I thought there was an override. What do I have here? Animation reverse override, no.
Overrides for everything apart from opacity.
I think we might be safe on this because it doesn't fade in or out, if I'm recalling correctly, except for the end, it does fade out. Let's see what that looks like, though. Let's just set it to half. Refresh, bring up the multi-choice. Yeah, I think that can work. I want to make it a little bit more, like maybe 65. I forget what the other thing we were going to do. Was it sound effect? I don't remember what it was. Oh, burning crosshairs is what we were going to do. Okay, let's go do that. The RAF, like the RAF logo. What's that?
I'm not sure. I feel like that's something I should know, but
because I feel like that's
it's a target.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Concentric circles. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think I like that better. That's what I feel like I like a little bit better. Let's create a new project here in, let's call this the RAF target. kind of thing. Let's throw that in there. Let me bring this up so you can at least see what I'm doing as well. We'll drag this up into here somewhere, maybe up in that space right there. Okay, let's add a new solid to it. So we're in After Effects right now. Target. Do I want to have this be multicolor or not?
I was gonna say, I just searched for Target and went to images, and sure enough, I hit the American store Target, which shockingly has a Target as its logo as well.
Yeah.
So not where my mind was heading at the time, but
yeah, no, it's a cultural kind of thing. Let's come in here. Let's get the ellipse tool out here. And let's grab 2 of these. Do I have alignment abilities in the whole page? Or no? No, what is that aligning? I'm not even sure what that's doing. I want to select those 2 guys right there, and I want to center them. I don't like what's happening here. It's like moving. It's moving the whole background, so I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to eyeball it. It's not going to be too big of a deal. Come on, why aren't you moving? Do I have to select you here to get you to move? Okay, now I'm just getting sad. Is there another tool? All right, let's try this.
It's weird. You've got 3 things, none of which are lined up to each other.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the line and the outer circle at this point.
The line I don't care about, but these... Oh, there we go. Now I got to move. Okay, good. Now I can just eyeball center that thing. Good. Now let's get back over into the saber effects right here. We want to change its core to be a layer masks. Good. And we want to change the render settings so it's going to go to transparent. Okay, good. Next, we want to grab something up in here. Like I can just go grab fire like that. Yeah, I do like it. It's better. It is better, Surly. I like it a lot, by the way. Wait, I'm seeing all the names of this data isn't, but hopefully what's happening? What is happening in the chat room?
So Surly's got a streak of good luck going, and he'd like it to continue. So Screech Rat has offered to cross his fingers for him, but then pursues a debate on whether or not rats have fingers.
That's also, I don't know if that's going to be necessarily helpful either. All right, so we've got that.
So
that's
Mark,
not bad.
Do you have the ability to make a scorch marks version of this? Because I almost feel like when you toggle something on, you'd almost scorch it in background. And this would be your cursor. You know, move the fire somewhere and scorch. Or I don't know how unscorch works at that point, though. That maybe doesn't work so well.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. Is because I'm sensing complexity down that path. Then we can make it easier this way. I like the suggestion. I think it is a decent suggestion. The problem, the complexity part from a UI perspective is if I scorch it, how do we see it if this thing's on fire above it?
Well, that's true.
Right, and so I got to solve that somehow, and I'm not exactly sure if it goes like I could solve it with opacity, like I could drop its opacity down so we can see it. I could solve it with size, so the scorching is beyond it.
But it also doesn't feel like scorching is something you undo particularly realistically if you're toggling it off.
I could do that with magic, though. I could solve that with magic.
Okay.
But so now, but now we've got like, kind of.
There's a few layers to this at this point.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, oh, I don't know. So
I think it's because I really like the flames you've got going on there.
I like them too, but I think they can exist as they are, like this. And I think that we'll add some kind of scorching behind them when they're active, some burning. I think that's what we'll do. I'm also playing with the idea of smoke coming off of this from the top.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing with that.
We did smoke when drones are not doing so well, and they've got some of their lives missing.
Drones?
Drones can smoke when they hit those bars and they lose health points.
I don't think they smoke. They just drop the points down is what I thought they did. Do you think they're smoking? I don't remember that.
I thought we had something like that.
No, it's when they blow up. That's what I
maybe
think
right.
you're
Yeah.
thinking about. So if like I create my drone, why am I not seeing my drones? What has happened to
Coins are gone too.
Yeah, what has happened to all this? What are we on? We're on Awesome. Awesome doesn't have... Oh no, it's got the drone game there. So it's got the drone game. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna... Wait, oh, it's actually live. Hold on a second, let me show you. It's here. I opened up properties for it. It's not seen or visible. It's somewhere off screen. It looks like it's... Wait.
Coins back. Coins back because Surly brought them back.
Something's on top of it.
There are some walls. So things are here. Sound's gone for the drones.
Oh, you know what?
Is this since the restart?
No, it's just Surly's got the Code Rush thing docked somewhere, I think. It's docked down the bottom. I didn't see it in the upper side there. All the coins were gone. Everything was out of the way. Okay, so here we've got this. Let's generate this. I like the target better. Render, I want to do lossless with alpha. And where are we going to put this thing? Whoops, videos. And in-game UI should be somewhere in here. There it is. And fire selected entry. I'm going to just overwrite that. Because I think I've got another file that... another project that uses that and opens it up. Let me hit render on this. And I'm opening up Adobe Premiere now at the same time. Okay, there, that rendering is done. I'm going to close that. Yeah, let's save this. I want to put this over in... projects, and we'll call this the in-game UI target. All right, so we've got that. And where is Adobe Premiere? There you are. And I'm just looking through the history. In-game UI, there it is. Let me bring it up so you can see it. And this again, we want to dock this. Let's put it over here. All right, so this is what we had before. The fire selector loop is here. Now we've changed it. Now we are changing it. We're tinting it red here, I think. Nope. Where are we tinting it? Tinting it here. I can turn off the tint, and then we've just got that right there. There's a selection background that's in here too. Right here. See that thing right there? So we are like, we kind of got to resize this to fit that background is what we have to do. See, there's the background right there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to resize this and kind of put it right over it. Because I want to use kind of the same sizes as before. Let's go look at it at 100%. So there it is at about 100%. Let me drop it down even more. Just kind of looking at this, I'm not entirely happy with the scorching in the background. And I think I'm going to adjust it a little bit in here, even more. What's going on over here? I've actually dropped down the brightness. I'm going to drop down the brightness a little more on there. Maybe increase the contrast a little bit. Okay. If we turn this off, that's what it looks like normally. So we've kind of made it a little darker. Yeah, I'm still thinking about adding a slight smoke to this that kind of fades up and out and gets away. But by the way, those walls we made are kind of cool. Those bounce walls. Remember when we did that, Rory?
They are nice, yeah.
All right. So now I've got the fire selector. Let's go generate this. This is in a loop now. Whoops. Hold on. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know where I'm putting you. I wanted to hit cancel here. Is this a loop? Nope. That's the loop right there. So that's the one I want to generate. right there, the fire selector loop. We do not need this here. And let me hit cancel one more time because I want this not to be QuickTime, but I want it to be PNG. Now, in-game UI, selection indicator, and I'm going to delete all of those and say save, and entire sequence, export. Then we got to trim them. And I'm wondering, so this is kind of funny. Like right now I'm starting up another instance of Visual Studio. I'm generating stuff from there. Surly's like, hey, let me do this fun thing.
He's doing a Planet Conga or something up there.
Yeah. I kind of, you know what I want to do though? I want to like say, oh yeah, Surly, watch this. It's really like, Surly's like, what? I just changed it to the sun, that's all. All right, we'll go back to Pluto if you want. I just hit Pluto and nothing happened. I thought I did. I don't see Pluto showing up. Is Pluto not a planet? What's going on? Moon? There's the moon. Oh no, it showed up. It was just like, I just changed it to the moon now. So lunar gravity. Okay, we're in the cropper. Let's start the cropper tool up. And we'll open up that animation we just created. Grab that and crop. Oh no. Oh my God. We generated that. That is a big file we generated. If it's looking like this, it's like 3,800 by something.
Oops.
I think I grabbed the wrong one to generate. That's not good. Really? Is that what it was? Yeah, 3840. Where am I grabbing this from? Fire loop. Where am I using it from? Did I just selection preview? Did I do it from here? That looks way better. That's reasonable. 500 by 500. Okay. So that's probably where I generated it from. Here, I just want to kill this. Let's kill it. Let's just kill it. And let's start it running it again. That's my version of cancel. Okay, it's running again. Let's go back over here, generate this one instead. Selection indicator. And go, export. This should be much faster. Yeah, look at how much faster that is.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's open it up. This should also similarly be much faster. Crop. There you go.
A little quicker, yeah.
Although it looks like a math error there in the progress bar showing that, but that's all. I'm good that it works. All right, so close that down. The last thing I got to do is I got to run PNG Gauntlet at the at those, but I'm not going to do it while we're running the show, just because it sucks up everything and just stops everything. It just occupies every core. This is actually very cool what Surly's doing right now, by the way.
It's modern art of some kind.
What'd you say?
It's a performance piece.
Yeah, it is.
Art.
It is. It makes me want to say, look, at the very least, let's change the meteor color. Because we created those meteors, I think, from different separate assets. Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to go back to the drone game. I want to go back to the drone game and kind of, now that we know everything we know, and kind of upgrade the graphics, you know, across the board, kind of upgrade the functionality. That's kind of what I want to do. Oh yeah, look, there's a little escape through the corners sometimes that happens. There.
Yep.
It's kind of fun. All right. We've got the selection indicator, it'd be good to check if it's got the same number, probably 104. So we should look for the number 105 in our message box app, the message box file. Yep, there it is, same number of frames. So we're good there. Origin, X and Y, I bet are exactly the same as well. 162. It should be about, we see the height and width about double that. Oh no. Is that right? So this should really be about 115. It's smaller. It's about half of this. It should be about 118 by 118 is what I think the center of this thing should be. Yeah, 116, 117 is what we got. Okay. Okay, let's refresh it. I'm not sure that the mainstream will be able to get the refresh and reload those images. It seems to be caching those. So I almost expect to see the old images still. But let's see what happens. Just hit refresh on it. Hit refresh. Bring it up. Scroll. Yeah. And I don't know of any way to get it to unload those. Well, I do know. I can change it's the folder in which it's in. I can do that trick. So let's do that. Because I'd like to see those. I'm going to call this selection indicator 2. And we're just going to go out here to this folder and rename this folder selection indicator 2. Let's see if we can do that. Hopefully nobody's got a lock on it. Never mind. I hate this, by the way. I can't tell you. I can't, Windows is like, I can't reveal the identity of the program.
The witness protection that the program has been put in is pretty good.
Let's start closing some stuff down. Close down Paint Shop Pro. Try again. Nope. Let's go. Do I have the only thing left? I don't have Premiere. I closed down Premiere, I think. Yeah, everything's closed except for Visual Studio. Or it could be OBS. It's OBS. Yeah. That's got to be what it is. All right, let's cancel. Let's just copy this. And then let's paste. And call it 2. That should solve my problem. All right, so one more time. Refresh and refresh. Bring it up. And I think I'm color shifting it, right? But
it does work.
It's better. It is better. Surly, thanks for the sound effects and the suggestion on this. I think it's a good suggestion, and it works for me. And it kind of clearly indicates who's selected.
Yep.
We could drop the size down. I'm okay with that too, but I do like how the outer flame circles this inner guy. I think I want to make the inner guy even smaller.
Fair enough.
Let's do that. Let's make that.
Well, whilst you do,
all right, buddy.
I am afraid I'm going to take my leave. Yes, absolutely. I'll be off. However, I will be back tomorrow, same time. I will join you then.
Thank you so much. Jetson's here, and I didn't see a... All right, buddy, see you later. Jetson just arrived, and I did not see a fanfare for Jetson. Did Jetson try to sneak in earlier, and I didn't see it? Like with using the secret, or did we lose the fanfare? Looks like Surly is causing havoc again. Yeah, he's causing havoc. I agree that is so annoying not seeing what as the file locked. Yeah, Surly, Screech Rat is there. Hey, beautiful. How are you doing? Yeah?
How are you?
Pretty good. Do you want to tell a story to the kids?
About what?
About your dad's previous girlfriend?
Okay.
All right, Karen's coming in for it's story time here on the show.
It's story time. Well, I think they need to know. Okay, so Joe and Joanne Mangicotti, who were my parents, they're dead, but they were super cute and they dated in high school. Well, they started dating in high school when she went to go see him because my dad was a boxer. It's a long story. She was Irish, he was Italian. They were from Boston. But the point of the story is that they would always, whenever they, so my mom only ever dated my dad, but my dad had a couple of other girlfriends, most notably
a young lady by the name of
Rosie No Drawers. And my mother would be like, Joe? At least I didn't date somebody named Rosie No Drawers. And he'd be like, well, I did. And that was that. So that's pretty much the whole story.
Yeah.
Did you ever date anyone with the moniker of No Drawers?
No, but it was a carpenter, but she was not very good.
She didn't know how to make drawers.
No, she didn't. That was off her list. She was like, I'm not doing that.
Can I tell you guys a secret?
Yeah,
that I'm
okay,
noticing
I guess so.
in your monitor?
Jetson says, I like it when Mark calls me beautiful. I don't think that was me doing that, but anyway, what are you noticing in my monitor?
I think you might have been talking to me, but for the second time in quarantine, you know what I've done?
Can't cut your bangs?
Cut my bangs.
That's all right. Nobody's judged. No judgment
yeah,
here.
you know who's judged? Our best friends are hairdressers, and they're not fans of this
So there's a little bit of judgment there.
Self-mutilation.
Okay. Well, thanks for that story, honey.
Thank you.
This is a new regular segment where Karen tells a story of her life. Roy's not here, so there's nobody. If you're wondering why it's so quiet,
stop me.
Yeah, there's nobody to stop me either. So anyway, Spoofy says, laughing out loud, yay, story time with Karen.
Story time with Karen about Joe Mangicotti's old girlfriends. No, I can. I have lots of stories. I'll come back with one tomorrow.
Okay. All right, baby. We'll talk to you later. Retread says, that story explains so much. Shirley's planting flowers for the garden right now, by the way. So,
for me?
Yeah, I guess for you. Flowers for the garden are being planted. Let's close this down a little bit so we see a little more code on screen. I want to show. I said I want to make that focus indicator smaller. That's what I want to do. So let's go find that focus indicator. And if the max enters is greater, I want to drop it down even more. I want to take it to maybe 7.7 times its current scale. Let's try that. Let's do a refresh. Yeah, it's now very clear. All right, next, if we select more answers than are available, I want to get rid of the first answer there, I think. So in other words, if only 2 are available and I select another one here, I want it to get rid of whoops, not that one, this one right here. So it only allows me to select 2, so it's very clear. Yeah, I overshot that. I think my speed of movement is too slow. All right, I'm going to change that too. I'm going to change my ease time. I'm going to cut that in half. See if that's a little bit better. Whoops, I think I was right there at the line of code. Move scroll sprite up. Is that right? Nope, that's not it, I think. I want move all targets. Prepare for entrance, move sprites vertically. I want to go, let me start and move down. I'm just not. Update focus indicator, that's where I want to be. It's this one right here, this ease call. The selector ease time, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it by a third. I'll make it 200. I'm going to make it 180. Let's do that. Refresh. Refresh. Yeah, it's really the latency that's bugging me on this whole thing. That's it. It's like a tap, move, tap, move, tap, move. And in fairness, right, it's going from my machine, you know, putting a chat in a chat room, that's being watched. The plugin is getting an alert that the chat messages come in, then it's getting it, then it's sending it out via SignalR out of here. So we're like, even though, you know, arguably some of this is, traveling, some of this data is traveling at close to the speed of light. It's taken, the latency is here. Yeah, it feels like it's at about 150 milliseconds or greater. It's like 250 milliseconds almost. Tap, move, tap, move, tap, move, tap, move, like that. Yeah. It's about 250, 300 milliseconds, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to live with it. All right, let's work on the piece that controls how many of these I can have. Let's do one other thing. There's another thing I want to do with the sound effects. This is the sliding sound. I want to throw the other one I have in there as well, just to see what it sounds like. I think it was called Stamp. I got 7 of those. Yeah, I actually like it better, I think, without. I like Surly's. So I guess the good news is, though, if I come in and I say, if I'm like here and I want to go up to Miles, all I have to do is tap it twice, and I don't have to wait for the UI to catch up. I can just go 1, 2 pretty fast, and it'll give me both of those and get to that position. So that part is definitely usable. Okay. I do not want to. I wanted to make it smaller, and I'm not going to mess with its opacity at all. I just want to look at that UI and see how that looks. Yeah. And I think also I want to change its color as well. So I want to say add shifted. My hue shift. Set that to 0, but if that's the case, then I want to set hue shift equal to about -220. It should get it right back over to red. Should get it pretty close to red. Ooh, I need this. There we go. And then I want to send hue shift off over here. Like that. All right, refresh. All right, that's cool. So now we have something much smaller, and everything about it is now consistent. We have this kind of consistent visual indicator, right, that of the targeting. Yeah, it's getting better. Okay, let's make it so that if we have too many selected, we're going to deselect them. Let's take a look at that and see what it's going to take to do that. I'm going to dock to clear the screen up here, Surly. You're welcome to... well, it doesn't get rid of the coins. All right, we want to look at toggle. So we have the ability to add selection indicator sprites and remove them based on the on what? It's based on the focus index. So let's pass this in as a parameter instead. And what's happening in add selection indicator sprite is hopefully it's the same thing. Somewhere in here we're using the focus indicator, focus index right there. How do we determine its position? Its X and Y are there. From the focus indicator, we need to change that. All right, so I think we need to say, okay, we need to say, here, let's do this. I want to see where the Y position of this thing is calculated here. It's here on this line. This is the Y. Getting the answer is the center Y of that. That new Y is subtracted, gets that origin Y subtracted from it. There in that call to ease. And here we're adding the origin X to it in the add call to add. So I'm guessing, I think we can do this. We can say, whoops, there's a problem right here. Okay. All right, I want to say, I want to get that. And I think I don't need to add anything to it. Like that. I'm just going to put that right there out in a comment in case I do need that. So here's my Y position. And okay, so now we're going to come in here like that. So I'm just modifying these two so I can call them from another location that's going to check to see if we have too many. And I think what we want to do is, this is the place where we might have a problem when we're turning the toggling on. So what I want to do here is I want to say, if this dot has too many answers selected, then I want to say deselect hold on, let me drop a marker here. I want to see where is selected is referenced. Get selected answer count. That's what I was looking for. See if I had something like that. All right, let's get that first. Selected answer count is equal to this dot get selected answer count. Okay, if get selected answer count is greater than this dot question answer map dot max answers, then deselect, and I'm going to pass in the number that I want to get rid of. Max answers minus this. That's how much what our overflow is, and I want to pass in. Well, I don't really need to. I'm going to just now. I won't worry about the focus index. I just want to make sure I don't deselect the one that was just added. All right, so now let's go in and declare that. And this is going to be my num to deselect, like that. And then I want to do a like a for loop here, I think. Dot. Are you meaning to make that a negative number? No, I was not. Let me go. I'll go double check that in a second. Map.answers.link. Let me go look at the code up here. Max enters my selected answer count. You are correct. Thanks. Good job.
He's awesome.
It's Coding Gorilla out there, kids. Okay. Now we're going to go through each of these. We're going to say, hey, if I is not equal to this dot focus index, because I don't want to deselect the one I just created, and this dot question answer map dot answers of I. I'm not as much used with making sounds, but I'm a walking code analyzer. Perfect. Great Coding Gorilla. I love it. It's perfect. Let's see. Oops, one too many over here. Too many equals. I was like, how could I have too many equals? It's JavaScript. Dot is selected. So if it's not equal to focus index and we're equal to is selected, then what I want to do is this. And I want to come in and I want to say, okay, let's set it equal to false. And I want to say this dot remove selection indicator sprite, and I want to pass in I to it. And that's going to, hopefully, was that going to also play the sound? I don't see it playing the sound. Maybe I don't want selection indicator sprite. Maybe that's not what I want. Hold on. Ah. So these three lines of code are very similar. I'm going to extract them. I mean, they're similar code in both places. So I'm going to say deselect. I'm going to pass in the frame index, the focus index, I mean. What's going on? Do I have another? Oh, I have two called deselect. Did I really just do that? Deselect answer. All right, that's way better, isn't it? And then I want to do something here to count up how many we're deselecting. Num cleared. Set that equal to 0. And that we need to put in braces. Increase that, and then say, hey, if num cleared is greater than or equal to num to deselect, then we can get out. And I think also, oh, I wanted to call deselect answer from here as well. So we need a sound manager in here, it looks like. Okay. Deselect answer needs the sound manager too. Right. Yep. Okay. There's something else on my mind. Oh, I know what it was. I want to delay. I want to delay. In case I need to take out more than one. I'm only going to need really to take out one though, won't I? I do not want to delay. I was thinking I was going to have to sequence multiples of these, but that's not going to ever be the case. I'm only going to always have one and then get out of here. That's pretty much guaranteed to happen all the time. Let's refresh it and see how it works. So let's toggle that. So only 3 apparently. Let's see if that's if that's correct or not. Just want to make sure that that's my max number right there that I've specified in the D&D app. Yeah, we said 3. So only 3 targets can be selected. Okay, one more time. Good. All right, next we need discoverability on the number of targets, and I'm not sure where to put it. I think it goes down the bottom. I actually think I want to add some space to the top and bottom. It seems too close in this scenario. If I close this down and I wait 8 seconds, is it deselecting from the top of the list or the first one selected? It's kind of both, in that the code is written so that it's going to search from the beginning to the end, from the top of the list down. And it's going to check to see, is the one that we're trying to get rid of the one we just added? So if it's the one we just added, it won't get rid of that. So you always get the one you just added, but then it'll take the next one it finds down. So that's kind of what's happening. I figure that's good enough. I think maybe a better approach would be to have like a queue of these. So the last one added is the first one you remove if you have overflow. But I don't, we're at a point of diminishing returns here with regards to that. So I think we're in good enough territory. I wanted to bring up the other ones and look at them. So here, it doesn't look too bad. It's not as close. But I think it is about the same. But it doesn't look so bad, I think, because it's so stretched out. I think we're going to just simply add to the top and bottom on that by about 20%, I think, what we want to do. Let's see if we can find that. I don't remember the calculations. Well, it's going to be somewhere in show. Calculate size. Here's my height, total height. Get title bottom from top of scroll plus this, plus bottom margin. Bottom margin is set here at 20. I kind of wanted to do this as a percentage of the overall scale is what I wanted to do. I wanted that margin to kind of be multiplied by the scale. But we don't calculate vertical scale till we get down to here. So I think I'm going to say that, change it to 30 at least, and then get title bottom from top of scroll, title top margin. Let's make that one be 25. Let's just make those two changes and see how it looks. Yeah. All right, so we need some discoverability in here, I think. And I think that's going to go across the bottom. And we only need discoverability if we have multiple targets. And I think that discoverability is going to be in a known font size, so we're not going to scale that. I think I want to drop the size of this down to even smaller so it fits. When I do this, I want to see that flame burning around it. I want to do that. I want to see that flame. All right, let's drop it down. Looks like we're right here. That's that change. That's going to look like a simple, fast change. Slightly offset. Okay. Dropping it down even more. I'm going to go to 45. See how bad or good that is. Yeah, it's slightly off. So we can fix that by changing the those numbers that we have at the top. What is that, 116 as I recall? Yeah. What if we make that 118 for both of those? Is that going to save us? So do I only need to adjust the X? Nope, that looks good. I'm going to call that good enough. It's definitely something that it's usable, right? As a DM, you can come in and you can make the changes here. All right, let's get the text at the bottom that comes in and says 2 out of 3 or whatever that's going to be. Let's go to calculate size. And we get to the vertical scale. The total height is here. We need to also, you know what I want to do for organizational purposes? I want to make bottom margin, put that up with top margin. And even though it's locally used only here, we'll find top margin. Is it title top margin? So that equal to 30. And then I want to do a something else in here that's going to be the discoverability hint height, like that. Maybe 30. I'm okay with that. And now I want to say if this dot question answer map dot answers dot max, oops, no, it's max answers, is greater than 1. Sorry, I'm trying to get ln, like that, ln. Discoverability height. So that equal to 0. And then I want to come down in here and say like that, and then I want to even add that to the end as well, like that. And if we just refresh that, we should see that there's a little extra space on the bottom to draw something when we have a multiple choice. Yeah, little extra space there across the bottom. And we'll line it up with the left side there, I think, is what we'll do. Okay, so let's work on that text. Okay, right now we are painting, got this called a render title. To must fade in the title if we're not using text effects to render it. I think I found a really cool workaround to that problem that didn't require, yeah, I just get the last answer drawn and I get its alpha and then use that here. So this trick right here is kind of what we need. And what else? I think I'm just going to be like, I'm going to go find this call. And then I'm going to have something down here called render discoverability, I think. And render, let's maybe call this render multi-select discoverability is what I want to do. And we need to find that discoverability Y position. And I think it's here. I think I want to say this dot discoverability top is equal to that. Let's go declare this. Okay. So our Y position is there, discoverability top. It's like this dot context, or sorry, no, context dot font equals and it's going to be equal to my font size, which I'm guessing is going to be maybe 24 if I've allowed 30 pixels for it, maybe 22. 22 PX Enchanted Land, I think is how it's called. Let's just verify. Am I getting that anywhere else in here? Yeah, font name would be better to just use that, wouldn't it? Okay, let's put it there, like that. Sorry, message box dot font name. Okay, so we're setting the font, setting the baseline, got the fill style. We're going to do context dot fill text, and we need to get the alpha of this too. That's the other thing we need to do. We need this, we need code that's similar to this right here. With the insides being this. So we're just going to use the last answer, it's alpha, whatever it is, because we still got text effects for the answers, and so they are able to automatically control their fading in and out. And then we want to come in here and say fill text, and we want it to be something to the effect of something selected, like that. And it's going to be this dot question answer map dot max answers. And then down here, it's going to be this dot get selected answer count. I'm a little wary of calling this like 30 times a second right here. What am I missing? Oh, I need an X and Y, right? Here's my text and then X and Y. So X, I need to figure out what the left X is. I don't remember if we've got something already that does that or not. I'll have to look for that. And then I need this dot discoverability top as the Y. Okay, let's go find that X position. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Title left. Something like that. Title left. Message box. That looks like it's it. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm a little wary about calling this 30 times a second because it's not going to change. But also, it's crazy fast. So it's kind of wasteful, but also kind of fast. There's no performance difference that's going to be noticeable. Yeah, but the part of me that likes to write efficiently running code wants to fix this. You know, actually, what I'm going to do is this. I will consider caching result to call and invalidating that cache anytime an answer is toggled. Excuse me. Yeah, here's the thing though. It's so fast. If we go in here and look at this, we're talking about going through like 5 answers in a for loop. It is really, it's almost not even worth the time to write the to-do comment up here. I'm going to leave it in there though. This is my disorder. My disorder is I like to, if I know of inefficiency, I like to fix it. Okay, so the font size is too small. Also, what's going on with the double? Did I hit the button twice maybe? I don't even understand how this could change that. It certainly can't be in this code. It's impacting, right? It's like 2 are popping up. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is peculiar. It's got to be up in my height calculation is the only thing I'm thinking about. Is there something I missed? Just in case. Let's do that. Refresh. You've got to be kidding me. There's something in that code I just commented out. What? I disagree. Nope, nothing's happening there. No mutation of state. This is just read. We're just reading stuff here. Let me refresh one more time and just see if there's something kind of crazy, funky. Oh my God. This is like crazy. What am I missing? Last answer .get alpha. Let's just try throwing that out. Well, what if this was not set yet? Let's try that. If anything, I'm suspecting it delays a little before it shows up. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. It makes no sense to me at this point. All right, so here's my theory. I was thinking that might do it. So my theory is, last answer has not been assigned the first time this comes up. That's kind of what I want to do. My discoverability top has got a problem. It is not it needs more. I need a margin in here to bring this down. I also need the font size to go bigger. That's way too small. Let's try 28. And let's create a margin right here. Discover, we'll just call it top margin. And let's bring it down about 10. All right, I think this is going to fix that bug. I think what's happening is we're getting in here, we're getting an error, and that's causing a problem, maybe a delay in handling it. I don't know, but here's the refresh. Yeah, that was it. But 0 of 3 selects is not bad. Let's make it bigger and drop it down a little bit. Isn't that crazy? This line was causing that problem, right? Because that was coming in at, we had a null ref trying here. That broke something. And the front wasn't able to draw, which means, was it also, I wonder if that also is going to impact its frame advance on it or not. I think it does automatically advance the frame inside the draw. Is that true? Yep, it does. So it didn't advance the frame because we were throwing exceptions here. That's what the problem was. So it was that was why that was the line of code that was causing it. Okay, I wanted to make the font bigger and bring it down more, right? That's what we said. Let's make it 34 and make this top margin 16. Let's refresh that. I want it to go even bigger. Okay, and the font's definitely got to get bigger. That's curious because that looks way smaller than 34 to me. Yeah, I don't get that. Fine, let's make it 44. And top margin 20. And try one more time. No, there's no scaling. There's no scaling at all here. We're just directly throwing it right out. There's all the scaling that you've seen before is referencing properties inside of an engine that we've created here on the show. So there's no scaling of the context. Well, actually, it's possible to scale the context, but I think it's unlikely. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. No, it's not. We're not scaling the context. We do that in the context of each draw. We scale the context during each draw of the frame if the image itself is scaled. But yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. It's better. That's better. I want to just do a small little minor thing here. Call it the emphasis punctuation. And I want to do a if now I'm about to call get selected answer count again, so we're definitely at least going to cache it here locally. So if the number of answers is equal, I just want to do an exclamation mark or a period, depending on where we are. If the number of answers is equal to the max answers, then I want that emphasis punctuation What is going on here? What? I had more on the clipboard. All right. Emphasis punctuation string. Then I'm going to say emphasis punctuation is equal to, if it's equal to that, then we're going to have a relaxed punctuation. But if we're less than it, then we're going to have an exclaimed punctuation, like, dude, you better watch out. And do I want to change the color of this if there's a problem? I kind of feel like I do. I'm opening up my image editor right now so I can go get some colors here. I think I want a hint color. Hint color like a warning. And then maybe a hint color like hint color good color, like that. All right. So I think if we're going in the warning space, we're going to kind of go with red here. And if we're good, I kind of want to go back to here, but lighter, like that. So it lowers the contrast because it's not as important. And then lets you work with both of these as well. Oops, so it's not here that I want to deal with this. It's down here. So if it's equal to this, then we want to do the, we want to have the all good or whatever option. And then otherwise, we want to have the warning option color right there. Const. I'm going to take the to do out. All right, let's refresh. I think we have a message box, kids. All right, let's fix this last problem. When we drop it down and then try to bring it back up immediately, like this, everything's wrong. I want to try and fix that problem. So let's look at the drop down. And I guess we'll look at, try to understand where the problem is coming from. But my belief is the problem is with scroll front or back, one of these two has got something alive, and that's impacting the calculations. So here's accept answer. Let's take this and move it down. So it's down near the bottom. Surly Dev, you just typed in Discord. The sound reminds me of Back to the Future so much. What sound are you talking about? What sound are you talking about? Oh, we got 01 selected down the bottom. We shouldn't even see that now. Or did it? Yeah, it gets rid of it. Let's fix that bug too. I should have figured that out. If max answers is equal to 1, then we're gone. I said less than or equal to 1. When the scroll opens. I thought that was the command to bring up the Discord link. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Surly. Let me see if are other commands working. Maybe throw a drone out. Yeah, I can throw out a drone. Yeah, I thought you wrote it, so I'm like, yeah, that's your code. I think that should do it. I'm pretty sure I remember you doing that code. All right, so we should see now with 2 answers, we don't see anything below it. All right, so back over to where we were looking at. We're looking at scroll back. But let me look through the scroll fronts and see if we're doing something there. Is it animate scroll up? Yeah. So here's the deal. Our scroll back has got an on add frame advanced callback. So we could actually save the, we could solve the whole problem by just killing everything in all of these proxies here. At the very least, we need the scroll backs killed so that we don't call this on add frame, this add on frame advanced callback. We don't get in here anymore. That's the problem, I'm pretty sure. So if we come in and say this dot, do I have a clear in here? Scroll back dot sprite proxies. Do I got a clear now? I guess I just do this. That's my JavaScript's clear. And I think that alone might fix it. I don't really think I need to worry about anything else. So let's see. There's that. Click OK. Immediately bring up another one. There we go. Click OK. Immediately bring up another one. Yeah, click OK. The other ones, though, notice the other ones are still sticking around. Let's kill the others too. Let's get rid of the front, the very least, those two. Sorry, I made those changes right there. Okay. And then another one. Ooh, the text is still sticking up there. All right, I got to clean up everything, it looks like. Yeah, because I didn't hit OK. Is that a fair test? Because we're not going to send another one down. Hit OK. Hit OK. The OK clears them up. Okay. All right, last thing I want to do is I want to go into the main app and I want to verify the data coming back is as expected. That's what I want to do. So that data comes back. Received in-game response. That's coming in here. So now we need to, it's just occurring to me, we don't have anything in the code here that's set up to handle a multi-select situation. It's just going in and saying get first selected index. But I at the very least want to check this data coming in. I think I may save this for tomorrow because I want to think about how I want to implement that. But let's set a breakpoint here and we'll just see what comes in. So we'll bring up the multi-choice one because that's kind of the interesting one. And we will select lady and little cutie. And I hit OK on that. And so now coming in here, we have my answers. Fred is false. Miles is false. Lady is true. Good. Merkin is false and little cutie is set to true. So the is selected is set correctly for the data coming back. So that's actually really good news. But I really kind of need a to-do here, and this is what I think we'll work on tomorrow, to do, be able to handle multi-selected answers. Yeah. The problem is that answer response is just an int. I am noticing a performance issue here. Yeah, let's report this. Let's get the devs to take a look at this. All right, kids. I've got a perf issue here. I'm like, let me just try holding down a key. It's kind of okay there. It's kind of okay there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a delay. It's like about, maybe I'd say about 90 milliseconds to maybe about 120 milliseconds behind is what it feels like to me between the time I press it. Let me just slam a bunch of keys. Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit of a delay. What I'd like you guys to do is take a look at the log files, the perf logs, and see if you can find anything interesting in terms of what's going on. I am debugging. I've been running this for like a couple hours debugging. I just hit a breakpoint. You know, I don't know if that's related to it or not, but you know, who knows? Maybe you can find something. Whoops, that's the wrong button to hit. Perf is the button I want to hit. Performance issue, typing an editor. And my machine is super fast, so there's no reason for any delay. Yeah, I wonder, I think when I've seen problems like this before and I've brought up the keystroke visualizer, it takes just as long to tell me I've pressed a key. It's not like there's any delay in here at all. This is a test. You should use like the sound of the keys hitting the keyboard. Yeah, that's just holding the key down. I don't know, feeling like it should be faster. Feels like it should be faster. Yeah, it feels like it's a few keys behind. When I've typed in ER, I feel like I'm seeing maybe the T. You know, I feel like it's 1 or 2 keys behind. Okay. All right, kids, I think that's a show. Not bad. We did some good work today. I think we've got, in general, a pretty good UI set up here and working. And it seems like kind of good multi-purpose. We solved the async await issues with assistance from the chat room, I think on Friday and on and maybe Thursday as well of last week. So thanks to everybody who helped us with that. And I think we have something that's usable. I think it kind of, we look at it, it feels consistent, but we reused a lot of components. The same kind of thing is working in 2 different ways. Yeah. So we got the multiple choice. And then we've got Coding Gorilla says catch you tomorrow. All right, let's get a raid going. Who's going to get that lucky stream to get you amazing kids? Who's it going to be? White Panther. I've never raided White Panther before. Let's go see what that looks like. Let's do it. We'll send you over to White Panther. She's got code in the background there. Looks legitimate. She's awesome, says Smoothie. All right. Go say hi. Excellent, excellent, excellent.